Before GPS, before modern electronics, there were tractors that built America's farms with nothing but raw steel, diesel power, and farmer grit. And in the 1970s, no brand made tougher legends than International Harvester. These machines weren't just tractors. They were iron workhorses that could pull through mud, conquer endless acres, and keep running decades later with just a wrench and a grease gun. Today we're diving into 10 International Harvester tractors from the 70s that became absolute legends. And trust me, number 7 on this list is still making jaws drop at tractor pulls today. Number 1. Farmall 706. The practical workhorse. The Farmall 706 wasn't just another tractor. It became the everyday partner for thousands of farmers during the late 60s and throughout the 1970s. Built for versatility, this tractor was ideal for medium-sized farms where one machine needed to handle almost everything. Its strong 6-cylinder engine delivered steady torque that was perfect for plowing, baling, planting, and hauling wagons. Farmers loved how the 706 combined enough power to pull decent-sized implements without being too large or heavy to maneuver in smaller fields or tight farmyards. One of the reasons the 706 gained such a legendary reputation was its durability. It wasn't overcomplicated, so farmers could do most repairs themselves with basic tools. From changing belts to working on the hydraulics, the 706 was built to be fixed in the barn rather than relying on expensive dealership visits. Many owners recall that these tractors would run all day on modest amounts of fuel, and when serviced properly, they could outlast newer, fancier models. The 706 also had a comfortable operator platform for its time, with intuitive controls that made long workdays a little easier. For family farms, it was the tractor that could be handed from father to son, a machine that taught generations the rhythm of working the land. Even today, restored 706s are proudly shown at tractor parades and fairs, a living reminder of a model that symbolized practicality, dependability, and the rugged spirit of American farming in the 70s. Number 2. Farmall 806. Big field muscle with simple logic. The Farmall 806 was the kind of tractor that made farmers feel confident about tackling bigger acreage. Introduced earlier in the 1960s, it continued to shine throughout the 70s because it provided raw pulling power without unnecessary complexity. Equipped with engines that could push past 90 horsepower, the 806 was ideal for handling large implements like heavy plows, discs, and planters. For many operations, it represented a step up, a tractor that let farms expand and take on more serious field work. What made the 806 legendary was not just the horsepower, but the simplicity of design. International Harvester engineers built it with rugged drivetrains and durable axles that were overbuilt for longevity. Farmers appreciated that when something did go wrong, the layout made repairs straightforward. No complicated electronics or fragile parts, everything was mechanical, tough, and built to be fixed in the barn. The 806 quickly became a favorite in corn and wheat country, where big fields demanded reliable muscle. Its strong reputation was reinforced by stories of these tractors logging thousands of hours with minimal downtime. Owners often kept them running through the decades, proving their worth long after newer models arrived. The tractor's design also made it versatile enough to handle PTO-driven jobs like running forage harvesters or powering augers. Today, the Farmall 806 remains a symbol of straightforward American muscle. Collectors still seek them out, and many remain in daily use, showing that a tractor built with logic, strength, and farmer-focused design can truly stand the test of time. Number 3. International 656. The Quiet Workman. The International 656 was not the biggest tractor on the farm, but it was one of the most dependable. Designed for versatility and maneuverability, this tractor was often found working on small to medium-sized farms, where tight turns and varied tasks demanded a lighter, more agile machine. With around 60 horsepower under the hood, the 656 was strong enough to handle plowing, mowing, and planting, but also compact enough to work in orchards, pastures, and smaller fields where larger tractors simply didn't fit. What made the 656 legendary was its reliability. Owners could count on it to start every morning and put in a hard day's work without constant tinkering. Its simple design and durable build made maintenance straightforward. Farmers could adjust the hydraulics, change filters, and perform routine repairs without much trouble. Because of this, many 656 tractors stayed in service for decades, often passed from one generation to the next. Another reason farmers loved the 656 was its versatility. It could be used year-round, from pulling plows in the spring to baling hay in the summer, to hauling loads in the fall, and even powering snowblowers or feed grinders in the winter. It was truly an all-season machine. For families who could only afford one main tractor, the 656 was often the obvious choice. Even today, many 656s are still working hard on small farms and hobby operations, proving that sometimes it's the quiet, unassuming tractors, not just the big powerhouses, that leave the biggest mark in farming history. Number 4. International 504. Small but capable. The International 504 was proof that size doesn't always determine usefulness. While it wasn't a massive powerhouse, this compact tractor was a favorite on smaller farms and dairies, where its size and versatility made it indispensable. With about 40 to 50 horsepower, the 504 was more than capable of handling light field work, mowing, cultivating, and hauling wagons. It filled a crucial role for farmers who didn't need or couldn't afford a massive row crop tractor but still needed something dependable to get real work done. The 504's compact size gave it an advantage in tight spaces. On livestock operations, where tractors had to maneuver around barns, silos, and feedlots, the 504 was perfect. It was also an excellent loader tractor, able to move bales, feed, or manure with ease. Its simple hydraulics and reliable transmission made it easy to operate, and its straightforward engineering meant farmers could repair it themselves without specialized tools. Another reason the 504 became legendary was its economy. It sipped fuel compared to larger machines, making it affordable to run. During the fuel-conscious 1970s, when rising energy prices hit farmers hard, this was a big advantage. Many operators also appreciated that the 504 was forgiving and easy to drive, which made it a great first tractor for younger family members learning farm work. While it never grabbed headlines like the bigger Farmall machines, the 504 earned its place in IH history by being practical, affordable, and hard-working. Even today, many of these tractors are still found on small farms, proving that sometimes the little guy truly comes out ahead. Number 5. International 966, the field-focused performer. The International 966 was designed for farmers who needed a step up in horsepower without moving into the massive, high-priced flagship models. With around 100 horsepower, the 966 had the muscle to handle medium to large implements and was particularly popular in row crop farming, where dependable power was essential. Farmers trusted the 966 for heavy tillage, planting, and hauling, knowing that it could put in long days without wearing out. One of the biggest strengths of the 966 was its engine. It delivered torque exactly where farmers needed it, low down, for pulling plows and discs through tough soil. Combined with solid weight distribution and strong hydraulics, this tractor could handle the demands of serious field work. The design was rugged but straightforward, making it easier to maintain than some competitors. Many operators performed routine service themselves, keeping costs down and uptime high. Comfort was another reason the 966 earned fans. While not as advanced as later IH models, its operator station was roomy enough for long hours, with controls laid out in a practical way. Farmers could spend a full day in the seat without feeling completely worn out. This mattered in the 70s, when expanding acreages meant longer working days. Over time, the 966 became a legend because it filled a sweet spot in the IH lineup, powerful enough for serious work, but not so large that it was out of reach for mid-sized farms. Today, it remains a favorite among collectors and working farmers who value a tough, reliable machine that still gets the job done. Number 6. International 1066, the Torque King. If one tractor from the 1970s deserves to be called a true legend, it's the International 1066. Known as the Torque King, the 1066 had the reputation of being nearly unstoppable in the field. With around 125 horsepower, it was a powerhouse in its time, able to pull big plows, large planters, and heavy tillage equipment without hesitation. For many farmers, upgrading to a 1066 meant they could farm more acres with fewer passes, saving both time and labor. The 1066's engine was its crown jewel. It produced incredible torque at low RPMs, which meant it could handle heavy loads even in tough soil conditions. Farmers often recall how the 1066 just kept pulling, even when competitors bogged down. This ability to maintain traction and power under pressure made it a go-to tractor for demanding work. Its strong frame and drivetrain were built to last, ensuring it could take years of punishment. Another aspect that made the 1066 legendary was its straightforward serviceability. While it was powerful, it wasn't overly complicated. Farmers could work on it themselves, keeping repair costs manageable and reducing downtime during critical seasons. Beyond performance, the 1066 became iconic in rural communities. Many owners took pride in keeping them clean and well-maintained, knowing they owned one of IH's finest. Decades later, the 1066 is still celebrated at tractor pulls, shows, and auctions, often fetching premium prices. It stands as one of International Harvester's most famous models, a tractor that truly embodied power, toughness, and dependability. Number 7. International 1086. A balance of power and comfort. The International 1086 was a tractor that marked a shift in farming. Not only did it deliver serious power, but it also recognized the importance of operator comfort. By the late 1970s, farms were getting larger, and long hours in the field were becoming the norm. IH engineers knew that a tractor had to be more than just powerful. It had to be livable for the person spending 10 to 12 hours in the cab. That's where the 1086 stood out. With around 130 horsepower, the 1086 had plenty of muscle for tillage, planting, and heavy PTO-driven work. It could handle larger implements with ease, giving farmers the efficiency they needed to manage expanding acreages. But what really made the 1086 legendary was its cab design. Known as the Custom Control Center, the cab offered improved visibility, better ergonomics, and a more comfortable ride than most of its competitors at the time. For farmers used to open-station tractors, this was a game-changer. Mechanically, the 1086 was dependable and rugged. It had a strong frame, reliable transmission, and hydraulics that could handle demanding field work. Farmers also appreciated that it was relatively straightforward to maintain compared to other high-horsepower tractors. This combination of performance and serviceability made it practical as well as powerful. The 1086 quickly became a favorite for large family farms and custom operators, and its legacy endures today. Many are still in use, proving that IH built them tough. For collectors and enthusiasts, the 1086 represents a turning point, the tractor that combined raw strength with the beginnings of modern operator comfort. Number 8. International 1466. The mid-range champion. The International 1466 became known as the tractor that could do it all. Positioned in the mid to upper horsepower range of IH's lineup, it offered around 145 horsepower, more than enough for large-scale fieldwork, but still versatile enough for loader work, hay production, and general chores around the farm. For many families, the 1466 was the perfect one-tractor solution that could cover nearly every task throughout the year. One of the hallmarks of the 1466 was its versatility. In the spring, it could pull heavy tillage equipment and seeders. In the summer, it could switch to baling or haying duties. In the fall, it was a reliable hauler for grain wagons. And in the winter, it could power augers or blowers. Its hydraulics and PTO made it compatible with a wide variety of equipment, which is why so many farmers saw it as indispensable. Durability was another reason for the 1466's legendary reputation. Its driveline components and engine were overbuilt, designed to endure the punishment of continuous heavy use. Owners who took care of routine maintenance often kept their 1466 running for decades with little trouble. This reliability turned it into a true family machine, often passed down through generations. The 1466 was also known for being a teaching tractor. Many farmers recall learning how to drive on one. Its combination of power, simplicity, and straightforward controls made it easy for younger operators to handle, creating memories that stick to this day. Because of its practicality and toughness, the 1466 remains a sought-after model among collectors and working farms alike. Number 9. International 1486. The flagship work platform. The International 1486 was introduced as one of IH's flagship tractors in the late 1970s, and it quickly earned a reputation as a serious workhorse. With about 160 horsepower, it was built for big fields and big jobs. For farmers tackling hundreds or even thousands of acres, the 1486 provided the kind of pulling power and hydraulic strength that kept operations moving forward. Whether it was plowing, cultivating, or powering high-capacity implements, the 1486 was up to the challenge. One of the defining features of the 1486 was its cab. By this time, farmers were demanding more comfort during long working days, and IH responded with one of the most advanced operator environments of the era. The cab was quieter, offered better visibility, and featured improved controls. For farmers used to the dusty, noisy, open-air experience of older tractors, this was a major step forward. The 1486 wasn't just a machine, it was a place where farmers could spend long hours with less fatigue. Mechanically, the 1486 was built tough. Its frame, driveline, and engine were engineered to handle the stresses of continuous heavy work. Owners who maintained them properly often saw thousands of hours of reliable use. This combination of comfort and rugged dependability made the 1486 a favorite for larger farms and contractors. Even today, the 1486 is a highly respected tractor in the collector community. Restored examples often appear at shows, where they stand as reminders of IH's commitment to building machines that could handle both the growing demands of agriculture and the comfort needs of the farmer. Number 10. International 1586, the heavy-duty contender. The International 1586 was the powerhouse of IH's 86 series, designed for the largest farms and the toughest jobs. With nearly 180 horsepower, it represented the peak of IH's row crop tractor technology in the late 70s. Farmers who owned a 1586 weren't just working modest acreages, they were running big operations where time, efficiency, and brute strength mattered most. The 1586 was often used for the heaviest field work, pulling large plows, heavy discs, and massive cultivators. It was also a favorite for powering forage harvesters and other PTO-driven equipment that demanded consistent high horsepower. Its ability to deliver strong torque under load made it invaluable during tight planting or harvesting windows when downtime simply wasn't an option. One of the key reasons the 1586 became legendary was its durability. Its drivetrain and rear end were reinforced to withstand extreme stresses, and the tractor was engineered to last under conditions that would wear out lesser machines. For many farmers, it became the backbone of their operations, a machine they could count on year after year. The cab of the 1586 also reflected IH's push toward operator comfort. It was spacious, with controls arranged for convenience, and offered better soundproofing than earlier models. This made long hours more bearable, especially during harvest season. Today, the 1586 is remembered as one of IH's boldest tractors from the 1970s. Many are still in use, while restored examples command respect at shows and auctions. It represents the height of IH engineering before the company faced financial struggles, cementing its place as a true heavy-duty legend. The 1970s were a time when tractors weren't built for show, they were built to last, and International Harvester delivered some of the toughest, most dependable machines farming has ever seen. From the unstoppable torque of the 1066 to the heavy-duty might of the 1586, these tractors weren't just tools, they were part of the family, passed down from one generation to the next. So the next time you see an old red IH rumbling at a show or still working a field, remember, you're looking at a true legend of American farming history. Which of these tractors is your favorite? Drop it in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories of the machines that built our world.